What a beautiful day it is. One of the more difficult things, one of the things I struggle with a good bit, having to stay inside all the time, editing projects. I love editing, but it's like I would rather do it either early in the morning or really late at night when the sun's not out. Like right now, it's bright sunshine out there, you know, and I would prefer to be outside, but work's got to be done. So I struggle with that, having to be in here. And then it's kind of compounded because I do a 3-hour radio show every day. So that's 3 hours from 12 until 3 that I'm parked. I'm inside almost always for those 3 hours, obligated to do it 5 days a week. So then outside of that, having to be inside, I struggle with it. I really do. Some people don't like leftovers. I love them. Barbie. She's watching Barbie. Isn't that cute?
Wow, Ryan, you really went all out.
A beautiful day it is, but I got to be on the air in like 15 minutes. So I'll get to spend a little outdoor time after the show today, sometime this afternoon. It's just, fact is, getting outside and doing something outdoors is important enough to fit it in, even if you can't figure out where it fits in. You know, the Friday news dump is where everybody would dump the bad news, because everybody's got Friday night stuff going on and Saturday stuff going on. We're out and about, people are moving around, and so people would dump their bad news on Friday afternoons so that it would be fizzled out by the time everybody got back to work on Monday. Now we live in such a different time. We aren't going places, and we don't have a Friday night jamboree to go watch, and we're not watching a whole ton of sporting events on the weekend. So people may put their good news out on Friday afternoon, so it has a longer shelf life. You know, like today, you spend a lot of time working indoors, editing, you gotta be in front of a computer. Then the radio show's 3 hours, and that's 3 hours where I'm locked in a room, basically. So when it's over, I have to take at least an hour just for myself and just go outside. And a while back, I put in a standing desk, well, a riser that would allow my desk to turn into a standing desk, so that for a portion of the radio show, majority of it, 2 out of the 3 hours, I stand up while I do the radio show, because I read some statistics about how bad sitting down is for you. If you're sitting in a chair for hours and hours every day, how bad that is for you and for your heart.
BetterHealth.gov. Sitting or lying down for too long increases your risk of chronic health problems such as heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers. Too much sitting can also be bad for your mental health, according to Healthline.com. A typical office worker may spend up to 15 hours per day sitting. On the other hand, if you're in agriculture, you might only sit for about 3 hours a day. Okay, so anybody who's ever lost weight, studies say that, say, an agricultural worker can burn up to 1,000 calories per day more than people who are working a desk job, and that's simply because they spend most of the day walking or standing. Sitting is linked to early death. Data from over 1 million people, the most sedentary people had a 22 to 49% greater risk of early death. Sedentary behavior, sitting all the time, linked to more than 30 chronic disease conditions, including 112% increase in your risk of type 2 diabetes, 147% increase in heart disease risk. The fact is, just sitting all the time, it can't be good for you. So for the standing desk, get you out of your seat, get you on your feet. First up, obviously, more calories burned. This is WebMD. One study showed that standing sheds 88 calories an hour compared to 80 calories an hour for sitting. So that adds up over the course of a day. Walking burns a lot more, 210 calories an hour. Less back pain. Sitting for long periods of time tightens your muscles, can hurt your lower back, especially if you have bad posture. Standing desks seem to help ease back pain. I have terrible issues and have for years with back pain. In a study of call center employees, those with standing desks were 45% more productive on a daily basis than employees who sat during their shift. Listen, I'm just telling you the truth. I experienced it myself. Is there something to it? Yes. When you talk, like I do on the radio, you're constantly using your breath and your diaphragm to talk. And when I went from sitting to the first time I used a standing desk on the radio and I'm standing up for the show, there was a noticeable difference in my heart rate and therefore the way I had to manage my breath on the radio, and I wasn't used to it. And it's simply because my heart was beating faster and I had a little more blood flow going just standing up versus sitting down. So I'm definitely a believer in standing up.
And I really think the standing desk has really helped me in a lot of ways.